All right, y'all. Today we're taking a look at this boudoir photography business. Gonna check its local and its city search and see if it's got BSS, things like that. So we're back in the GBC universe where we're taking declining boudoir photographers to the #1 boudoir photographer in their city. As always, our North Star is FSIC, where we focus on full spectrum intent capture. And that's because FSIC explains why all boudoir photographers either rise or fall. So we got our, FSIC down there in white, high intent peeps on the left, low intent peeps on the right. And if a boudoir photography business is rising, most likely they're pulling in peeps from this entire intent spectrum. But if we got a boudoir photography business that's falling, we're missing some chunks of people somewhere. And way over on the left, the highest intent peeps, that's Google search, social search, people searching for boudoir photo shoot in their city, like right now. That's where we focus on talking about BSS, which is what we do here. Way over on the right, that's the lowest intent people. They ain't searching for boudoir right now. They most likely don't even know what the heck it is. So that's our sister brand. We're talking about BLCS, and right now with that brand, we're only working with boudoir photographers currently running more than 10 grand per month in boudoir Facebook ads. All right, so BSS boudoir search sameness. That's when a boudoir photographer has 0 or 1 slots on page 1 of Google. And 0 slots is, that's a fast death of a business because we know that approximately 80% of Google searches never hit page 2. So we're invisible to literally 4 out of every 5 people if we're on page 2. Our business is going downhill fast. We care about being visible to the approximately 80% of searches that are page 1 only searches because they're the bulk of the market. Now, 1 slot on page 1 of Google is no bueno as well because basically, every other boudoir photographer on page 1 is going to have 1 slot as well at minimum. And so and there's 10 organic slots on page 1 of Google. And as a result, we're actually going to, we'll look the same as everyone else. When we look the same as everyone else, we will, buyers are just going to click. 80% of buyers anyway are going to, that's our page 1 search only. They're going to click and every single link on page 1, open everyone's website, fill out everyone's contact form, price shop everyone, get the best, offer rate for themselves. And, it's kind of just death by 1,000 cuts there. So we do not want to have BSS. And it's also because 0 or 1 slots on page 1 Google is actually not normal. It's actually the symptom of 2 deeper root causes. Those 2 deeper root causes are market saturation, which most people know about. That's, seems like every week someone gets a new iPhone, they turn out their Google My Business profile, and their website's an issue boudoir. So it's kind of, making it harder to rank on page 1 of Google. And, or someone gets a new camera, then they start posting in the mom Facebook groups that they now shoot boudoir. So it's more sellers for the same number of buyers, makes it harder for each seller to get buyers. And this happened, kind of big way with COVID. A lot of people lost their jobs, but couldn't earn money, but they still needed to earn money. So guess what? Everyone's already got a smartphone with an awesome camera, triple cameras on it. So it's really easy for people to turn and become boudoir photographers. Increase in supply, but demands remain the same. So that's market saturation. Now, the new one that most people have never even heard of is the false belief of page 1 equality. So a lot of boudoir photographers actually believe, okay, every boudoir photographer gets 0 or 1 slots on page 1 of Google just kind of naturally. That's simply how it happens. And, maybe we were on page 1, but new boudoir photographer came in, ranked the website above ours, we got pushed off. And as a result, we kind of just, that's simply how it is. I guess, we'll have to wait, hope they delete their website and Google stops indexing them for us to hopefully get back on page 1. And hopefully Google doesn't pull in somebody else to page 1 ahead of us. But this is actually a false belief. And I know it's a false belief because I know that Google will give as many page 1 slots to peeps as they want. And, as they're willing to put in the effort to acquire those, kind of those slots. So I know this because I actually went from 0 out of slots, 0 out of 10 slots page 1 on Google to 9 out of 10 slots page 1 on Google in only 10 days using this new methodology I developed. So false belief of page 1 equality. Basically, we got to kind of break through this mental barrier, break through this kind of this false belief, so we can even look around and see if there are solutions available that can solve it, because people kind of naturally accepted this thing could not be solved. Now, boudoir photographer BSS is a disappearing boudoir photographer, DBP. Yeah, because we got 0 slots on page 1 and we're on page 2 or deeper. Yeah, basically, approximately 80% of searchers have never seen us. We're definitely disappearing boudoir photographer, which matters because that is the first signal, the first kind of flashing emergency signal, emergency light that says, that basically says the boudoir photography business as a whole is eventually going to be disappearing. And same thing with one slot on page one of Google. I mean, we're still basically invisible. We're looking the same as everyone else. We're being price shopped to death. Just a real waste of time. So, it's the start of our universe here on the left. A disappearing boudoir photographer with BSS is caused by the dual horns of market saturation and page one equality, or the false belief of page one equality, which causes people to not act and go out there and take as many page one slots in Google as they want, because Google will give them. Now, luckily, we do have the solution. I created it. We know that BSS is treated with social search saturation, aka S-cubed methodology. And it works exactly as it says. We saturate social search with the highest intent buyer keywords. And when we do that, it's kind of like the backside of the Andes Mountains down in South America, or kind of the small streams, the small rivers that saturate in social search, and those eventually all flow together down to the big Amazon River. And that's Google page one. So it's kind of everything flows Google page one, but it starts with saturating social search. Now, this is the exact strategy I use to go from, again, 0 out of 10 slots page one to 9 out of 10 slots on page one in 10 days. Show those results here in a little bit. And this is actually the only strategy I've seen for boudoir photographers that enables a boudoir photography business to actually successfully fight back against market saturation, and then to actually still continue to grow the business in the face of market saturation in a relatively quick time frame. Technically, the only other thing that can successfully do that is brand, having a massive, large, well-known brand. But dude, that takes 5 to 10 years. We ain't got 5 to 10 years. AI is here taking people's, going to start taking people's jobs. Actually, I believe it already has, and it's going to be taking more and more and more people's jobs. So the reason that I see that is the only strategy that can do this in a relatively quick time frame is imagine we're in Nashville, Tennessee, and we're one boudoir photographer there, but there's a million total competing in the marketplace. Everyone's got their website, so we're all trying to rank up on Google page one. But we say, okay, SQ methodology is the only thing that can actually help me compete ASAP, faster than anything else, and without spending ads, without having to build a brand. Then what we do is we actually crank SQ methodology up to the max. So this is like what we would do in this scenario, crank it up to the max, or this hypothetical scenario. And let's say we get for 300 page one slots on Google, or across all the social networks for the highest intent keywords. And after we do that, we also, those flow onto Google, and let's say we get the first 300 slots in Google as well. That's like literally the first 30 pages. And as a result of that, anytime any buyer in our city is looking anywhere for us, or not for us, but for boudoir photo shoot, whatever those highest intent keywords are, anywhere, searching on social networks, all the largest ones, or searching on Google itself, they literally only see us for the first 30 pages. And if approximately 80% of searches never even hit page 2, then basically ain't nobody hitting page 31, which is where basically our competitors start. So obviously, if they can really only find us when they're searching, whose business will continue to grow? Ours. Whose business will, it will continue to decrease. Well, that's the other 999,999 boudoir photography businesses competing against us in the same city market, because we, turned SQ methodology up to the max and do way faster than create a brand, way faster. And also, I believe it'll, help create a brand, I don't know, estimate 8x faster, just because of how many surfaces we'll actually be on. Now, once you're with the SQ methodology, we have page one visibility, P1V. And, this next initial benefit, first one is, getting the slots page one on Google. And then the second one is every new page one slot we get on Google, we're kicking competing boudoir photographers off page one, effectively making them invisible. Now, this is super awesome because now we know if we're kicking our competitor off page one of Google, they're page 2 or deeper, approximately 80% of peeps ain't never going to find them, because we know approximately 80% of Google searches are page 1 only searches. They never even hit page 2. And if someone instead uses a strategy to do it to us, then we're the ones being made invisible. Now, page 1 visibility activates boudoir search visibility for us. And boudoir search visibility. This is our GBC recommended minimum of 3 out of 10 slots, page 1 on Google. Because if everyone else got 1 slot and we got 3, well, buyers may not even click on anyone else. They may even only click on ours because like, man, why does Google recommend these people, this person 3 times? There must be some reason. They must be good. And we actually dominate everyone else on the page. And there's always like a very, very tiny chance someone could have 2 slots, page 1 on Google as well. That's rare though, especially in the cities with city searches because there's so much competition for keywords. And so as a result, even if the super rare chance someone has, two slots, there are 3 slots still dominate them as well. And a boudoir photographer with BSV is a visible boudoir photographer, a VBP. So we got disappearing boudoir photographer with boudoir search sameness, which is caused by the dual horns of market saturation and page 1 methodology, or the false belief of page 1 equality. Then now we have the solution, SQ methodology. We achieve page 1 visibility, become a visible boudoir photographer with boudoir search visibility. All right, so now my results. This is the keyword I want to rank for, BLCS Boudoir. It's for our sister brand. And I exclusively used SQ methodology to do exactly this. And what I did, well, let's see the results. This after 10 days. So we got slot 1, organic, Instagram, me. Slot 2, me. Slot 3, me. Slot 4, me. Slot 5, me. Slot 6, me. Slot 7, me. Slot 8, me. And slot 10, me. So dude, 9 out of 10 slots, Google page 1 in 10 days. This is my results I got using this methodology. Now here's the main event. We're gonna see if this boudoir photography business, the local and the city search, see what's happening for BSS, boudoir search sameness, see if it's in the GBC recommended minimum of 3 out of 10 slots, page 1 on Google. All right, so we're going to LaPorte, Texas, and Houston. All right, LaPorte, Texas. All right, let's see. All right, going to the organics. All right, see what we got here. All right, boom, we got 1. Boom, we got 2. All right, so we've passed the BSS threshold. We do not have BSS. Boom, we got 3. All right, we've hit the GBC recommended minimum. Boom, we got 4. And all right, we got 4 out of 10 for local search. Good. So we don't have any BSS. We do not have, and we are hitting the GBC recommended minimum of 3 out of 10 slots, page 1 on Google. Perfect. That's exactly what we want to see. All right, now I'm gonna check here. Houston, Texas. All right, let's see what we got. Nope, nope, nope. No, all right, we are not. So we are not even showing up. So we're at 0 out of 10. So local search, good. We're dominating that, and do not have BSS. We reached the GBC recommended minimum 3 out of 10 slots, page 1 of Google. City search, Houston, we are not ranking at all. We got BSS for that one, and we're not hitting the GBC recommended minimum of 3 out of 10 slots, page 1 on Google. All right, so if you're a disappearing boudoir photographer, meaning you've done your local and city searches already for the highest intent boudoir buyer keywords, and you've seen that you have either 0 1 slots for at least one of them, or you're not hitting the GBC recommended minimum of 3 out of 10 slots for at least one of them. And so you're seeing you got BSS boudoir search sameness. You understand that the false belief of page 1 equality is exactly that, a false belief. Google actually gives us many page 1 slots as we want to put in the effort to acquire. And your chain SQ methodology is the only method that can get us that many slots in that short of a time frame. And you like the initial benefits, more page 1 slots Google search, and also you really like the other initial benefit, kicking competing boudoir photographers off page 1 Google search, effectively putting them on page 2 or deeper, effectively making them invisible to approximately 80% of the marketplace. You think that's pretty cool. And you're thinking ahead, you understand market saturation, yeah. More peeps trickle into the marketplace as they get new gear, yeah. But you're also looking ahead, you're seeing, wow, AI is already taking a bunch of people's jobs, and it's actually going to be taking more and more people's jobs in the future as it gets better and better. So what actually needs to happen is you're actually seeing, wow, actually a much larger wave of boudoir photographers going to be entering the marketplace over time, up over and above the peeps that are coming because of upgraded gear. And you realize you actually need to fortify your position on page 1 Google search. And essentially it's so many links that Google can't even rank all your links page 1 on Google search. And now you're starting to stuff page 2, 3, and 4. basically fortify your position, basically guarantee no current boudoir photographer ever has any chance to rank page one, and basically guarantee no future boudoir photographer that enters the marketplace after AI takes their job has any chance of sitting on page one or ranking on page one either. Fortifying your position, basically like fortifying the levees down in Nolens, Louisiana, because that city is below sea level. So got to fortify it against the ocean. And Genetic methodology is the only solution to do this, the only path forward to do this, because you also want to achieve page one visibility, become a visible boudoir photographer, and have boudoir search visibility, because you need these things on your path to become the #1 boudoir photographer in your city. And you also like the future benefits of utilizing SQ methodology successfully every day, which are we're building up these, initial or invisible thematic keyword columns, kind of like plugged in to our brand, all around our brand, for the specific keywords that we're trying to rank for. And as we do this more and more, we're increasing our repetition, relevance, frequency, authority, and age of all those invisible thematic keyword columns around us, plugged into us. Our name, our business name, our brand names, our social handles, all kind of existing out there on the internet. And you understand every day we increase kind of the power of these, or the frequency of these, or the volume of these, are actually increasing the probability we're ranked up here in the top for recommended AI overview, because we're building this back-end AI mindshare with doing all these things. As we grow our AI mindshare through successfully executing SQ methodology every day, also increasing the probability every single day AI search recommends us. ChatGPT, Claude, Perplexity, Copilot, Microsoft Copilot, Google Gemini, all comes increased probability to be recommended there from executing SQ methodology successfully every single day. And AI search growing every single day, more and more people using it every single day. And AI, last time I used AI to search for boudoir photographers in a city, I was using ChatGPT, and I searched in a city for boudoir photographers, and it gave me 3. And then I went to actually look, how many, kind of a manual search, Google manual and Facebook manual search. And dude, I found like 60. It's like, man, we got to find any way possible to get in one of these 3 AI search slots. And we're seeing SQ methodology provides exactly what the AI wants to see. These invisible thematic keyword columns, all attributed to our brand, increasingly over time. You also like in the future benefit of, we can grow to be a large, well-known brand in our area, and perhaps even larger than our immediate radius, approximately 8x faster than traditional methods. You also like in that my current plan is to work with only one boudoir photographer per city, so you're liking you can get all these benefits and actually prevent all your competitors from getting these benefits at the same time. Actually give you a chance to get your links page one, build up the back, kind of the supply of backlinks that could be on page one but are actually stuck on page 2, 3, and 4, and fortify your position, build up your AI mindshare momentum in the back end with all these invisible thematic keyword columns being applied to you and your brand, and just really put a massive gap between you and every other single competitor in your city, or essentially they'll never even be able to catch up. So you're liking all that, and you decide to be a first mover in your city to adopt this technology because you understand the converse scenario, which is if one of your boudoir photographer competitors signs out with me first, they get all those links on page one, you're getting kicked out to page 2, 3, and 4 and deeper, becoming super invisible, definitely disappearing. Your business is on the path to disappearing. We're fortifying your competitor's position. We're building up their AI mindshare in the back end with their invisible thematic keyword columns that feed into the kind of AI, brain on the internet. And we're building a massive gap between me and your competitor and you. And the only way you could compete, since I can't work with you, is you'd have to redrive SQ methodology on your own. You would then have to, you'd never actually be 100% confident you've redrived it correctly. And then you'd have to execute it successfully every single day. And once you did that, all that would happen is you would be maintaining the current gap me and your competitor have on you, because we're also doing it every single day. And so to gain on us, you would have actually double and triple executing us every single day, which you would probably not feel confident putting in the time into, because again, you would not be 100% confident you've even derived the system, the technology correctly in the first place. And let's say you did all that, you'd have to do, who'd even have 80 hours a day to do all this stuff? So you decide to screw all that. You decide to be the first mover in your city. Don't want to miss out on this opportunity. So if that's you, shoot us a DM. Well, our DMs are currently closed, but shoot us that's because the hospital is currently closed for new patient intake. But when we do open our doors, shoot us a DM, and we'll see if you qualify for utilizing our S cubed methodology.